Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Guile here, and welcome back to the Forged Alliance Forever promotional series. It's pro-level Setons action, custom 4v4 on the cast this afternoon. Exciting stuff. First of all, though, quick plea, a request, a desperate plea, if you will, for everybody to play more games to keep the replays coming in. I did actually try and I set aside a day last Thursday, last week, to get a cast out to you guys. I'd done some attempts, in a couple of the evenings beforehand to try and research, find a decent replay to bring you. No success. I thought, no problem. I'll give it a good hour or two of trawling, and I actually spent 3 or 4 hours trawling for a replay on the Thursday, trying desperately to find one that I could bring you, and I just had nothing I was comfortable with. So yeah, ultimately I just don't want to bring you something that's substandard, you know. Putting out a cast there for the sake of it, of a game that everybody's going to hate, it's kind of pointless, so I didn't put anything out. And I'm a bit worried. Maybe it's the time of year, although it doesn't really hold fire with me, because surely the cold weather should be driving people inside towards their PCs. Maybe that is, but they're just not playing SOPCOM as much. I hope that's not the case, so I beg you, prove me wrong. Get some games played, guys, and keep those submissions coming in, because the channel needs content, yo. Alright, that's enough of that. Let's get on with today's game. As we said, it's going to be a Setons. I'm ready, you guys are ready, and the players are sure as hell ready. So let's go on over to the game zone and see how these guys are going to get on. A-ching. Ka-ching. Insta-loading. That's what we like to see. We know what we're dealing with here. We'll call this Team 1 up here at the top. This Team 2 down here at the bottom. Going first for Team 1. Rearguard air position. It's Morax. Hallie Orange. Going Seraphim. Opening first land. His teammate, number 2 player for Team 1, the Setna in Cyanide Scion, going UEF, opening first air, going second land. Over at the Causeway, our second UEF for Team 1, it's Jagged Appliance, going Burgundy Red, this time going first land. And last but not least, for Team 1, it's Foley, going Elephantine Grey, going FIM, opening first land. So 2 FIM, 2 UEF there for Team 1. Let's take a look at Team 2, rearguard air position. First of all, as always, it's UD going Cyber, bless him, opening first land in Baby Pink. Over at the cliffs up here, we have Free Feather. I'm not sure if that's Feather rebranded or that's a new player altogether. Either way, he's going Cybrin, so we don't really care that much. And he's going first air, second land, consistent with the meta. Causeway player already on the move towards the middle for Team 2. It's Noob Loob in Lurid Green, opening first and second land. And last but not least, in Ferrari Red, we have Strogo going Seraphim, opening first land, going second air. So 2 FIM, 2 Cybrin for Team 2, 2 FIM, 2 UEF for Team 1. Some nice crossover symmetry there somehow. Alright, scout plane out there from the Setna coming to check out Strogo's base. There won't be any immediate shooting down as that by Strogo. He's still working on his first interceptor, having only just completed that air factory. On his way towards the middle is Noob Blue. Might catch sight of this Mech Marine coming south from Jagged. Maybe not. Good chance to avoid it. He will have seen something coming in. Sends the snoop in, though, ill-advisedly. Should have guessed that that was going to be the com. Now he's lost his little old combat scout. The Selen that was on its way up to the middle has been redirected, because he'll instantly know there's something coming this way. Engineer ripe for the taking. Can we get first? Well, actually, it's technically not first blood, is it? Because the Snoop counts as a unit. That's already been blapped aside. Jagged Appliance and Noob Lube meet up in the middle, going after the T3 Rex on the Causeway first of all. Very important, it would appear. Noob Lube doesn't go straight tucking into the mass. Instead, he's going to take the opportunity to put some damage down on Jagged Appliance, and interestingly going after the Salems, which is, I'm led to believe, not the most efficient way of doing things. Up at the top pond, there's been an on and off tangling of interceptors there between Free Feather and Foley. Looks like it's pretty even Stevens for the time being. Still pumping out interceptors there. Free Feather. Let's go back to the Causeway, where Jagged Appliance is still wailing away on Noob Lube and vice versa. Noob Lube has brought in some reinforcements, a couple of Zooies that are raining shells down upon that ACU. It's going to bring it into the yellow there. Jagged Appliance down to 6,200 HP. Noob Lube still on around 10,800. Taking a look at the reclaim side of things, though, Jagged Appliance has pulled in 3k, Noob Lube on 2.7, so a slight advantage mass side for Team 2 on the central reclaim scooping mission. Interceptors tangling in the bottom pond over by the Setons base. Would you look at that? Foley determined to cover that side island, trying to cut off the inevitable transport drop that will be on its way soon, although still no transport under construction that I can see. Are we going to get some side island pinching going on? Well, he's still producing interceptors, so Foley's going to make a play. He's not working on it as yet. Probably wants to try and make sure that he's won the air game first of all, but I tell you who is going for a cheeky pinch, and that would be Strogo. 3 engineers on board transport heading to the bottom right hand corner of the map. He's going to do well to get those offloaded onto the island. There's a lot of interceptors hanging around that part of the map belonging to the Setna. Back to the middle, things still going strong over here. Noob Lube trying to scoop his share of the mass. Who's got more at this point in time? 4.5k for Jagged, and Noob Lube's on 4.6k, so he's doing better. And Jagged Appliance has looking like he bought his ACU from Oxfam. It's really not the healthiest of things. Full of holes and smoking. Little bit of micro trying to avoid some of the incoming shells, but I think Jagged Appliance is going to have to dip off the causeway into the water, yielding the causeway, or at least control of the central part of it, to Noob Lube. As Jagged Appliance dips into the red, there he goes off into the water, and indeed that transport drop from Strogo not successful. I'm not seeing a transport for him buzzing around anywhere, so that must have been shot down. Yes, it is. It got pretty close to the island, it would seem, but no engineers offloaded. That has gone to the Setna, seemed to get a full 5 or 6 NGs on the ground, and is working on a land factory as we speak and collecting those mexes. So a stronghold there from the Setna. Well done to him, sir. Now we're going to see a counter pinch attempt from Foley. Still no acquisition of the side island from Free Feather. Interesting stuff, but slightly behind. I guess that's an illustration of just how much fighter tangling there has been in that top pond. UD working on T2 power. How's Morax doing? Well, you see, not much between the two in terms of ability when it comes to their constructing their opening in good order, but look at the gulf between them in general ladder, not ladder ranking, sorry, global ranking. 2,400 points for UD, 1,700 for Morax. And if you check about what was said right at the beginning, okay, this is not ideal, and I'm assuming Morax pointed to the fact that he's now going to be facing off in the air game next to UD. Game quality is pretty well balanced, though, so as a whole, game should be good, but it's such a key position, the airplay. If you lose control of that early on, that could cause you no end of difficulties. So Foley indeed going for the side island, having shut down pretty much all of the air game from Free Feather, kept him off that island and patrolled the coastline with his fighters effectively. He successfully offloads 4 engineers, so we do have a nice little land grab from Team 1. Back on the causeway, Jagged Appliance still trying to be relevant, bless him. Dipping in and out of the water. Has actually got a very sizable army amassed, but needs to be careful. Stick very, very close to the water's edge. Doesn't take long when you've got a pile of this many units surrounding you for them all to reprioritize your comm as a central target, and then it's all over. Jagged Appliance 2/3 of the way towards his next rank in vet, and that'll help him retrieve a decent amount of HP. Actually sounds like it's a little little bit. Let me just open my volume mixer here. The sound is a little bit down. That's a bit better. So my voice is probably coming across insanely loud compared to everything else. Apologies for that. That allows me to still take note of the replay while I'm checking it and watch the man in the high castle at the same time. Endorsement of some Amazon Prime TV there. Other programs are available. Cheeky little T1 bomber raid picks off what must have been a radar installation, or maybe remnants of some kind of PD. And a cheeky little drop on the mainland from Foley as well, who brings in a whole group of Zuis and is now wreaking havoc in the backfield. Strogo losing outbound T2 mexes. Some of the rear T2 mexes that would have belonged to Noob Lube. Assume they would have been at T2. Actually, that's some core mass that's under pressure now for Noob Lube. Couple of Mantis dispatched by Free Feather to try and save it, but it's not going to. At least one more T2 Mex casualty. Do manage to save that second one though, just barely. Free Feather posturing, seeing if he can nab back the side island. Having a good old scout, bringing in a trident now. He'll be able to take some pot shots at things to try and carefully assess his angle of approach so that his incoming fire doesn't get blocked by the cliff edge. Quick build of a T1 anti-air means that these interceptors are being engaged, and they're also being engaged by Zuis by landing on the island. And goodness me, that was a poor show from Free Feather, offering up free kills for no reason. Air players both at ASF production though, or it would seem that Morax is a bit behind now. He's got 3 ASFs out and functional. Looks like he's got about twice as many operational. T2 on the way for Free Feather. A few more upgrades have just completed up on this side of things. Jagged Appliance now with some parashield coverage, some T2 engineers and some triads. Noob Lube's going to have to cancel this pressure and withdraw. Taking lots of fire now. Jagged Appliance with a Zeph amp and nano repair on board. That com's looking very dangerous and very chunky, but he's going to try and counter push. Take the sting out of Noob Lube's tail. Overcharge into T2 PD, would do himself a few favors. And he's pushing right up. He's got some pillars underneath the parashield coverage as well. Down goes the T2 PD. Noob Lube counter pushing, only 5,400 hit points on him. Zui's firing huge arc volleys over towards the very static formation of Jagged Appliance. He loses quite a few tanks in that exchange. Parashields blink back on. He's going to back up within range of the triad coverage. More T2 engineers, the Sparkies getting to work on more PDs as the inevitable creep continues. UEF player with an advantage here. Noob Lube needs to back on out of there. He's taking damage from Jagged Appliance's comm. Zeph amp on board and nano repair, remember, nasty piece of work right there. Noob Lube down to 2,300 hit points. Looking like he's going to make a play for the water. Is he going to make it is the question. He's down to 1,300, but is there enough pursuit from Jagged Appliance? He must smell blood right here. He did smell blood, but it wasn't enough. Cheeky little Rankin vet, replenish some health. Got him back over 3,000, and Noobloob has to withdraw. That forward position on the causeway looking vulnerable now for the first time for Team 2. Hello, cheeky little drop inbound from the Setna, looking to harass the bottom set of cliffs for Strogo. T1 bombers nearby could turn back around and take those down if he recognizes the danger in time. There it is. There's the recall. If he stays clumped, you can get a massive comprehensive kill here. Interceptors take out the transport. Half the Zooey's taken out. Does lose one mechs on the corner. Takes out half his own engineers. More engineers dying there than the Zooeys that were attacking them. But that's pretty comprehensive coverage from Strogo. Nicely dealt with, good efficiency. Noobloob still in retreat. He has replenished his health though. 6,000 hit points on the tank there. This is going to be another broken T2 mechs. And if we look at generated eco Noobloob after the incursions down here and the pressure up front from Jagged Appliance, finds himself short stacking on just 40 mass per tick. Side island under attack now from Free Feather, who wants to appropriate land he no doubt feels should be rightly his. Engineers trying to spam up shield coverage. Tactical missile launcher online. Oh, shield blinks down. New one blinks on. But he hasn't got the power to run the things. That is awful. Another drop in from the Setna, this time targeting Noobloob. Another Starlifter, no doubt about to be shot down. Lots of Ilshivers lying in wait, but they do manage to quickly pick off another mechs, stifling Noobloob's return to solid eco. Finally, the Starlifter succumbs to that interceptor pressure. Morax, laser done? Really? He's renamed his his mod, his upgrade mod, to say confusing things. Starlifter flying in again from the Setna, who's just dropping all over the map. This time he's attacking Free Feather at the cliffs. That's a successful offload. The Corsair will have a field day with them if they stay clubbed up though. One core mass down. Another follows it. Decent spread. Reducing the effectiveness of that Corsair. Look at these drops. Another one over here. Attacking Free Feathers. Land just south of the naval base. Taking out all of the land factories. And not liking any of what he sees. He airlifted his comm over here to the back of Noobloob's front line and then control K's. Of course, as being a Setons and a custom 4v4, full share is on, so somewhere Fairy has died from terminal loneliness. lot of mass to suddenly dump in Yudi's hands, though. Our 2400 rated player with 329 mass per tick. Yudi saying rush Awazar. So who are our Finn players? So Strogo and Noob Loob. I imagine that's going to be aimed at Strogo. Noob Loob definitely not with the eco to get that started. Another drop in around the back of Noob Loob's base. You've got to love the droppage. Just insane. Jagged Appliance massing north of Noob Loob's base on the causeway. Let's do a quick ASF count to see where we're at. So Morax with 22 ASFs. I have a strong feeling Yudi's way ahead of that. 77, yes indeed. So a massive air advantage, which is why Yudi is suggesting going for some arse washing. Has anybody actually taken him up on that offer, though, is the question. Yes, he has. So Strogo, taking Yudi's advice, initiates construction on the Awazar, and Yudi, the man with the eco to spare, airdrops in a bunch of build capacity and has some donated to him from Strogo to get this thing spammed up and spammed up quickly. So this could be a bit of a game changer, and it's something they need, being a player down and surrounded by ever encroaching fleets. Setna pushing in the bottom pond towards Strogo. Yudi trying to defend against an ever more aggressive Foley, who still is in control of that side island. He grabbed it early on and has not been dislodged. And look at this pressure coming down the center from Jagged Appliance. Noob Loob being absolutely overrun. His base is in tatters. He's not being prioritized, particularly at the moment. Gets another Rankin vet. Jagged Appliance going straight after the eco unit production facilities. Goodness me, that's about 60% done on the arse washer. Renegades sent in to counter Jagged spam. Wow! And all the while, Yudi is building that Awazar over in the east. Up at the back here, we've got a Monkey Lord, and that's nearly finished, about to go 75% complete. We'll be tasked with stalling Jagged's advance, I'm sure. Two fleets about to tangle. Uncertain as to who would come out on top of that exchange. No cruisers in the mix though, so in come the Renegades. There are a lot of frigates, however. When you reach that many frigates, there's still a decent amount of firepower, so Yudi losing gunships here as he prioritizes the destroyers. Not sure needs to worry about that. Arse washer complete and transferred over to Yudi's control from Strogo. Now what can he do with it? That's the question. Where is it headed? First waypoint's out over here. This island could be ground zero for where Team 1 first feel the wrath of the first experimental of the game. Morax going to need to be on point here, not get taken out by the fighter screen. Try and deal with this before it inflicts too much damage. Beautifully placed bomb. Takes out everything on the lower section of the island, and now is going after the Setna's main base. He's been brutal with the drops throughout this game, but now it's time for some Deep 2 payback. All core mass down and out, and ACU badly damaged. In comes Morax's fighter blob pursuing off map. That's not good timing. And the Awasar gets back on map on the other side of his own fighter screen. And the experimental inbound towards Morax's base, and there's very little of Morax's ASFs left. Bombs away on Morax's base. Shields took most of the hit. Couple of power plants down. And still 3/4 of its health intact. Oh my goodness me. Oh. Team 1 suffering greatly at the hands of Yudi. Jagged Appliance nearby, needs to do some scouting as well. He's got a Monkey Lord inbound. Back to the flying experimental in the back. Onto the cliffs belonging to Foley. We're up to 180 kills for this bomber now. 231. As Foley managed to build enough flak and anti-air to persuade Yudi to stay out of his main base. He's had the most lead time of anybody. Oh, but look out, Jagged on the run from the Monkey Lord. Shield recharging, but the microwave laser fires. Team 1 about to lose their first player. Boom, baby! Jagged Appliance out at 25 minutes. And that horde of units, whoever it belongs to, unlikely to be able to hold that Monkey Lord back. The bomber, who's taken substantial damage on this bombing run, up to 248 kills, on the hunt now for the Setna, who is wide open. Can he get the bomb off? Doesn't manage it. Morax, the beneficiary of Jagged's units. If they can't figure out a way to take out this bomber, there's not going to be much of anything left. This is a spectacular turnaround from pretty much Yudi by himself. Now spamming the bottom pond with outrageous amounts of torp bombers. That's allowing Strogo to push out with his navy. There are a lot of cruisers in the bottom pod now belonging to the Setna. Pity he didn't have those up front earlier. Bomber up to 291. And a Control K. Yeah, Control K and a Control K out from Foley as well. And Morax, that's a complete team capitulation within 27 minutes. And it's all down to Yudi. That is how you shut down a game of Setons when you're on the losing team. That's insane. One that just shows you people hate on the bomber. It's too easy to get shot down. But you know what? If you can plan for that, and you know you've got air coverage, you know you've got the advantage in the air, and you attack with decent micro, and you strategize well enough, that can be an absolute game changer. Couple that with a little stealthy Monkey Lord up the middle. Nothing like that combination to change your fortunes. Hope you enjoyed that, guys. There's always more to come from me in the future. Please, though, that is dependent on me getting some content. So keep those replays coming in. Keep playing the games. And we'll keep this channel rolling. All right, that's enough from me. More to come, as we say, in the future. But until next time, stay well and stay safe. This is Guile, signing out.